Hey y'all. Today's objective is solving quadratics by factoring. So we talked a little bit about quadratics. A quadratic equation or a quadratic function is typically in the form, this is in standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. It's going to have this degree of 2. It's going to have an exponent of 2, and that's what makes it a quadratic. The solutions are called zeros. So when you read directions or when you read a problem and it asks for the zeros, that's the solution. And it's where the graph crosses the x-axis. So basically where the y's are equal to 0. So if you have a graph of a quadratic, those 2 points are the zeros because that's where it crosses the x-axis. And the y value would equal 0 because it doesn't go up or down. So the function itself is equal to 0. You could have 0, 1, or 2 solutions. So you might have 0 solutions, 1 solution, or 2 solutions. And then factoring is the opposite of FOIL. So we've been practicing multiplying them, and factoring is undoing that. So we're going to go through. I'm warning you, this might be long, but I'm going to try to be very detailed. All right, solve by factoring. I have a function, f of x equals x squared minus 12x minus 28. And the first thing we do to factor is we look to see, are there any common numbers, common multiples that go into all of them that we can factor out? And we're going to start with none. So we want to get together our parentheses. And because our first term is x squared, we know it's going to start with x. There are a couple of things you need to think about. We look at the last term. This last term over here is negative 28. Because it's a negative, we're looking for numbers that will multiply to be negative 28, like in FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. And the only way to get a negative is to have a positive and a negative. So we know that one of these is going to be plus and one of these is going to be minus. If that last number is negative, then you're going to have a plus and a minus. The middle term is negative. So what you have to do is you have to think about how to get a negative 12 by using these factors. The factors of 28, 1 and 28, 2 and 14, 4 and 7, and that might be it. You use the factors of the last number, and then you have to add them to get the middle term. So looking at these factors, do you notice that 2 that will add? Okay. There's fire drill.